Hello, it's been a while. So I did a couple cars in between. I did a fancy gold big metal flake. I may stick a picture in. And I got back on the Trans Am. It was, like I said before, it was ready to paint. It was ready to paint. And I just got busy with other stuff and had to stop. So there wasn't any really need to post anything else other than I just stuck it in. I got it painted. I got part of it painted. Winter's coming, so I wanted to get the body done, and I could then work on the engine, get everything mounted in the frame and that. But here's what I got done on the body. It's turned out pretty good. So here's the thing that you see. I mean, like if you were looking at just, I want a factory type paint job, this is fine. That little orange peel texture you see in there is fine. But we want this one to be slick as glass. So I'm actually going to resand this whole thing and then we'll buff it out. But before I do that, don't let anybody tell you they don't ever get runs in paint. So everything turned out good, but I got right here, I had real dry spray. This is on the rocker, and it kind of ran over a little, but knowing it wasn't up here anywhere, it's so much easier. I tried to do a couple little fixes on that. Like if you get a run, you can dab a little tape on it and try to clean it up. I actually had that happen right here. Had a big run, and you kind of just really just put some tape, pull the run off, and you can come in and sand that down. There's 4 coats of clear on everything. So there's enough to really take all that texture out and then buff. But honestly, what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to sand it all flat and put 1 or 2 more coats on, because this is just the rocker. So I can tape off from here up, never get anything on it. And this is just below the door, same as on the other side. And I've just got these little runs here. I'll scrape those off with a little razor blade, and then it's just so much quicker to do that. And then in here, I got a couple of runs. So I just daub that off. It looks really rough, but it's just like very rough orange peel. So I daubed it off on first. And the reason that happened, I haven't sprayed this 2021 in 2 or 3 years. Like on the last car I did last week, it was all PPG 3000, which dries in like 10 minutes. This stuff stays wet. And it was a 70, 68 degree day. You know, I got an excuse for everything. So, I mean, I was laying it on. It's really, really no dirt, perfect day. But just got one little run. And that's it. That's the only thing I got. And same thing over here. I got a little, somewhere down there on that little rocker, there's a run. I'm just going to sand this. You'll never see. It's all under the sill plate. But we'll just sand that out. It's actually quicker. And right now, I've got a couple things going on. All the parts are ready. I probably won't get to those until spring, because I'm just going to take the time now and put everything together. Rear end's ready to go. I'm actually working right now trying to find the original disc brake calipers. They didn't have them forever, but I think I found a place, believe it or not, I found them at Summit and O'Reilly's. And they have them rebuilt. They got a huge core charge. Summit does. It's like 60 or 70 bucks for the caliper and an $80 core charge. It's something wild. I don't even remember. But these pieces, they don't make. You gotta use your old ones and clean them up. These brackets, they don't make. There's a guy called scarebird.com. They actually make something, but they're not interchangeable, meaning it'll replace everything. You have to replace all the pieces. You can't just use one piece. But I'm just going to clean these up, and rather than mess with trying to, I mean, my pistons, I pulled this one out. It's still fairly clean in there, but rather than mess with all of that, plus one of my bleeders is broke off, I'm just going to spend the $60, swap them out, and then be done. Another thing I ran into on this 79 400 4-speed car, 4-wheel disc. So this booster, that shows you how bad these things are. This was originally that anodized gold. You can see it somewhere in there. Yeah, right there on the edge of that bracket. There's a little bit of gold on it. So it's not pitted bad, but nobody reproduces these. This you can make, same thing on this to get an original. That's the Pro Valve. Can't find them. I could use aftermarket, but I found a place, I found a place that rebuilds them, replates them. It's probably going to cost me $500, but it'll be the right one. And because I'm not sure if I used a bigger one, if it wouldn't hit. In some of the pictures I've got where I took this apart, there's brackets and things that come out of the steering column that are right here. They may hit. And then of course, I got the motor back. So the motor is, you've seen 100 of them before. Let me see if I got a little peek in here. Little peek. So the motor's done. It's very stock looking. Because I got aluminum water pump. I did some other things to it, but I want it to be very stock appearing. We dynoed this. It's already been run, and it did. So I put inside we put, bigger cam. I think it's the Magnum 282, the comp cams they call it, but it's a full roller. So roller cam, roller lifters, roller rockers, and it did 425 horsepower, 430 pounds of torque. So that's double what it had from the factory. And I didn't get all stupid, crazy, dropping 10 grand into it. I found a decent place, really nice place. It took them forever. Y'all know that story. But we got it back, freaking dynoed great. The carb I had rebuilt, Mark Myers did that. And it did as well. It made the same horsepower as their high-end Holley, if they've got tuned to break in motors. So kudos to him, did a great job. So the motor's done, pieces are done. I am just going to finish up that little bit of paint this week, today or tomorrow, and then I'm starting to buy other pieces. Again, trying to find anything anymore. I've got a gas or fuel tank coming, all the lines to get them mounted under the body, because once the body's done, I can just, I got to put the lines in under here. I'll put the gas tank in because it's easy to do while it's on the rotisserie. I'll do as much as I can under there, but then really motor in the frame, mount the frame, shocks, rear end, they're already painted. I've got all that new stuff ready to go. So it'll be down and rollable. Then I can put it on the lift. And once I'm on the lift, then I can just take my time, take months and do the whole, build a car, wire, do everything. But that's where I'm at on it. That's all I've got to do is touch up that stuff. This restoration we're going to get into if you want to see some detailed paint stuff a little more, I've got a lot more pieces to do. Or if you've got questions about what I'm using, I'd be glad to answer. And then too, honestly, I looked into getting some pro to edit these little videos and things, because I just don't have the time and beyond that to do it. I think I started it when I was bored and had a whole winter to work on it. And enough guys are interested. I've met some of the people we've met up at car shows and things. And by the way, truck's been doing great. It was actually 100% for every show it's been to, as far as winning the first prize or top of its class, something like that. And I actually had a scare a while back. Thought we blew the motor. Ended up being a broken rocker, so I replaced everything with roller setup, and that thing's running like a champ right now. And with all the driving, it's getting some door dings and bug juice and some problems on it. So, if you're going to drive it, enjoy it. That's what's going to happen. Drives the wife crazy. She's wanting me to fix it, but I'm not fixing little things like that. We're just going to drive it and enjoy it. And I'll work on this. Any questions? Anything you want to see? Drop me a line. Other than that, I'm going to get started on just doing some sanding.